emergence of computers, the Internet, mobile communications and social media applications have provided the most recent revolution in communication technology. While broadcasting still has a role, the audience now has a will of its own and can access far wider sources of information than before. The audience now has the power to discern the information. Furthermore, the audience can now broadcast by itself. In the very diverse world in which we live, understanding the information environment is paramount to effective communication. Saying one thing and doing another will lead to confusion or loss of credibility. This particularly applies to large groups, where maintaining one voice can be a challenge. In an alliance campaign, there may be plenty of different opinions on every subject. In the interests of collective security, there are many situations where some members make sacrifices for the benefits of all. This mutual support provides a consistency that gives great strength to the collective intent. In the same way, messaging must be consistent. There needs to be strength through unity. This unity does not just apply to verbal communication. Difference between the transmitted word and physical actions upon the ground will at best confuse, but at worst destroy that unity of messaging, and therefore jeopardize trust. This is often referred to as the say-do gap. Therefore, the consistency of messaging is paramount. It establishes and maintains trust. For an organization like NATO, the audiences are spread far and wide. The alliance needs to provide the assurance of collective security to its member nations and their people. It needs to offer friendship to other nations and organizations with shared values. And it needs to provide a deterrent effect on potential competitors and adversaries. The same collective identity can be translated into many mutual supporting messages for the wide range of audiences. There are many channels available for this communication. From the soldier on the ground to the Secretary General, there are opportunities to engage with our audiences every minute of the day. That being the case, it is essential that all speak with one voice. The narrative should provide the tone and guide the planning, decision-making, communication, and actions of every single member of the organization across all levels. It should connect the institutional desires of the organization to the actions of the individual. Every decision, action, activity, and communication should first be compared to the narrative to ensure it is consistent with the overarching tone and intent. The purpose of strategic communications is to help develop and deliver that central narrative. It will then support the cohesion of the alliance and enhances coordination of the various messages on all the available channels, from political strategic to a very tactical level, to achieve the right effects. Ultimately, through local meetings and one-to-one engagements, the success of the mission rests with every member of the alliance. Therefore, the reality is that NATO's primary communication channel is through what it does. In other words, in order to maintain the trust of audiences, we have to ensure that our words are supporting our deeds, because actions speak louder than words. Ultimately, the commander's intent, concept of operations, lines of operations, and of course operations themselves, must fit within the framework of narrative. So we can say that operations in which we are participating must be framed to either support our own narrative or to counter that of our opponents.